Welcome to the Money for Dads podcast. This is your host, Adam Katz. This podcast is for dads like you and me who want to save on everything, stretch your paycheck, and spend more time with your family. I don't want you or your spouse to be forced anymore to pick up extra shifts, take second jobs, work overtime, or sacrifice necessities just to pay your bills. I want you to be able to choose how you spend your time while giving your kids the most amazing childhoods possible. And that's why I created this podcast. Welcome to the Money for Dads podcast. This is your host, Adam Katz, and today I want to talk about something that I'm unfortunately all too familiar with, and that's prescription medication. If you followed me elsewhere, then you would know that I was sick for almost all of my 20s. I was diagnosed when I came back from Israel, and for the next almost 10 years, I was very sick. I was so sick I was actually on Social Security disability and I was unable to work. I was on, at most, 27 pills a day and a weekly injection, and nothing helped. Ultimately, I had to go through many surgeries, 2 series of surgeries for Crohn's disease that eventually helped me, and now, thank God, I'm back on my feet. And if you've seen it, I'm on the cover of a magazine, a health magazine, with an article called Becoming Unstoppable. Right? And I also now have a motivational life advice column in that magazine. And so I want to help people. I want to help people going through similar issues. And so I try to motivate them to show them how they can overcome everything they're dealing with. And I learned a lot during that time when I was sick. So I also learned about prescription medication, unfortunately, because of how many medicines I was on and the different types of medicines and their costs and where you can get them and dealing with insurance companies. So on today's podcast, I want to talk to you about some of the things that I learned about how to save money on prescription medication. Because unfortunately, we have to be on that. Many people have to be on it for their health. So now let's get into the points. The first method to reduce your costs for prescription medication is if you go to the pharmacy and the cost is really high, with or without insurance, doesn't matter, search online for the manufacturer's website to find a coupon for it. This can save you a ton of money. We actually had to pick up a medicine for one of our children, and it was going to be about $425 a month with insurance. So I quickly looked online, found the manufacturer's website, put in my information. They didn't ask anything about income or anything like that. And they instantly sent me a card. I showed it to the pharmacist, and it reduced the cost to $125. So right there, I saved $300. Now, $300 a month times 12 months for people who are on medication permanently, that's almost $4,000 a year. So go ahead and do that. It's so easy. It literally took me, I would say, 2 minutes to save about $4,000. The second tip is call the company. Call the manufacturer. When I was really sick, after one of my surgeries, my doctor told me to get some fancy probiotic, and it was a prescription probiotic, and it cost a lot of money. And I didn't know what to do because I was on, again, like I said before, Social Security disability. So what was I making, $600 a month? Right, that was my entire income. I was too sick to work. I was too sick to do anything. So I think the cost was $150 a month for this medicine. And so I was speaking to one of my neighbors, and I was telling him about the problem that I was having, and he said, go try calling the company. So I called the company, explained my situation, and they said, hold on, we'll transfer you. Within 30 seconds, someone picked up the phone, and she said, where do you want us to send the medication? And I said, well, what do you mean? You need my credit card? She said, no, we're just going to send it to you. I said, what do you mean you're going to send it to me? She said, we're going to send it to you for free, don't worry. And they did. They literally mailed me the medication for free. And it was amazing. And for somebody in a situation like that, when you don't have that much money, that's game changing. Right? I was able to take the best probiotic that was available, prescribed by my doctor, for free. And whether it helped or not is a different story. But the fact is, in terms of personal finances, that made a big difference to me and my life at that time. The third idea to save money on prescription medication is go generic if you can. I would always try to do this if it was possible. And I found online that the average name brand drug cost about $56. Well, for generic, it's about $7. So think about that. If you're saving $50 a month, that's pretty good. So speak with your doctor and find out if the generic is really as good as the brand name, because sometimes people say that the generic versions don't work for them. So after speaking with your doctor, go ahead and try it. If it works, then great. You save yourself $50 a month and you're still healthy. Another method to save money in your prescriptions is buy in bulk. Basically, there are 90-day supplies that you can purchase through pharmacies, online pharmacies, especially ones that are associated with your insurance company. Those will be cheaper than if you just went and bought 30-day supplies. Right, so go ahead and then set up 90-day supplies. That also makes it easier because you don't have to remember to pick it up every month. You're not going to run out. Just makes a lot of things really easy. And they also deliver a lot of the time too. So you can get your medicines delivered to your door every 90 days. You don't even have to think about it. So you save money, you save time, and you save stress. Another idea is to find out if you're actually on the right insurance plan for your needs. Some insurance plans cost more, cost less, cover some medicines but don't cover other medicines. They better meet needs of people with certain diseases like diabetes or cancer or this or that. So make sure that you're on the right plan by doing some research online. Maybe your employer doesn't offer that many plans, or maybe they offer 2 plans. Maybe there are different options. Maybe you get government insurance, and so you get to choose your health insurance plan from your state's portal. Or maybe you're on Medicare or Medicaid, and you can also change. So make sure that you're on the plan that fits your needs the most, because maybe one will actually cover your medicine, but the one that you're on doesn't. Or maybe one charges higher copays than another plan. So look into that. Now, this next idea might raise some eyebrows, but speak with your doctor to find out if you actually need to be taking the medication that you're on. We're in a culture where everybody's over-medicating and doctors prescribe. If their patients ask for a medicine and the doctor says no, the doctor has to worry that that patient will go elsewhere just to get that medicine because there's so many commercials and the companies push their medicine so much. But you know what? We don't need to be on so much medicine. And there's so many side effects also. You might not even realize the side effects that are happening to you from your medicine. I know that I didn't. I was once on for 2 years a nasal spray to help build up my bones. I don't know why my bones had issues, probably some prednisone or other medications that I was on while I was sick. But this nasal spray turned out to cause light sensitivity and major sinus issues. Now, why my doctor didn't ask me what issues I was experiencing or say, are you experiencing this or that? I don't know. He didn't. But 10 years later, I still have light sensitivity, and I had to have a sinus surgery, and I used to constantly get sinus infections. So be careful with the medications that you're on, and if you don't need to be on them, then don't be on them. You might need to. Speak with your doctor, or speak with multiple doctors, get multiple opinions, and then make the best decision for your body. Money comes second, but your health comes first. Now, the last tip is more of a bonus one because it might not apply to that many people, but I learned something really important when I was traveling in Israel once. I knew that I was supposed to be going on a new medicine, but I also was supposed to be going to Israel for 6 months to a year. Since I was going to be there, I should probably pick up the medicine there. There was some fancy medicine, it was injections, and it was going to be expensive, and I couldn't travel with it. So I called my insurance company, and they told me that they would cover it in Israel. I just had to charge it on my credit card, send them the receipt, and they would then issue me a check. But you know that these insurance companies aren't really out to help you. So I expected them to, once I sent them the receipt, to completely reject the charge. And they did. When I sent them the receipt, they said, too bad, we're not paying you. But I did something very smart. When the insurance agent first told me that he was going to cover the medicine, that they'd issue me the check, I asked him for a letter in writing saying that they would cover this medicine when I paid for it with my credit card abroad. So they sent me this letter. And then when the insurance company denied my request for reimbursement, I went ahead and I forwarded them this letter. And then they issued me a check for $10,000 or $11,000. So that foresight helped save me a lot of money, obviously, there. So if you're going to be traveling, or if your insurance company ever tells you something that you think is too good to be true, get it in writing. It's best to be safe, and it can't hurt to just have it on hand just in case the insurance company does what insurance companies generally do, which is try to make the most money possible. There you have it. Those are my main tips for saving money on prescription drugs. I know that there are a lot of other ways to do that, and I found them online, but just like my book and in my coaching also, I don't share anything that I haven't done myself because I can't vouch for them. I don't know if they really work, and I can't tell you how to do it. So there are some other ways though, and I want to just share them with you because you can look into them yourself. Right? There's discount card programs, there's new online pharmacies, you can fight your insurance company, there's online discount prescription finders, there's programs for people who are elderly or disabled, and all sorts of other different little ways here and there to save money on prescription drugs. So overall, stay healthy and save money. Thank you so much for listening to my podcast. To help you get started on your journey to stretch your income, save on everything, and spend more time with your family, you should visit my website, moneyfordads.com, and download the Money for Dads Starter Kit for free. In the kit is the Money for Dads Amazing and Simple Budget Template, which auto-calculates everything. It's so easy to use. And you'll also get my 11 money-saving tips guaranteed to change your life. They're philosophies that I use that have helped me to stretch my family's income as much as I have. So if you like this podcast, then subscribe. And if you think that it could help somebody else, a friend of yours, share it with them. I'd love to be able to help more people. And even better, which would help get the word out even more about this podcast, give it a review and a rating. I read all reviews, and I'd love to hear how the podcast helps you. So go to your favorite podcast player, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whichever one you use, and give it a review and a rating now. The more reviews that I have, the more we can share these ideas with the world, build the Money for Dads community, and help more dads spend more time with their families. Thanks again for listening, and have an awesome rest of the day.